Alright, so since I've got my decks out, let's go ahead and take a look at Kaervek, so I can give him his Harmonic Prodigy. I'll give Nekazar his Harmonic Prodigy later. I'll just do Kaervek for now. So Harmonic Prodigy, 1 in a red for a 1/3 human wizard. With prowess. Whenever it casts non-creature spell, it gets +1/+1 until end turn. Okay. If an ability of a shaman or another wizard you control triggers, it triggers again. He's a shaman. He's got a triggered ability. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, Kaervek the Merciless deals damage to a creature or player equal to the spell's CMC. So with Harmonic Prodigy, that would trigger twice. So I'd get double the damage, double the targets, double the death, double the fun. So what am I going to take out? Let's just kind of slowly poke through it and see if there's anything. Okay, no. This guy is, if you don't know what this guy is, if you've never seen him or played him before, and you have any opponents with creatures where they're putting +1/+1 counters on their creatures, or putting counters of any kind on their creatures to punch you in the head, if you're in blue-black at all, black-red, if you're in black-red at all, get a Kolrath Knight. This is a German one, Kolrath Ritter. Get a Kolrath Knight. So he flies. He's got Wither. Who gives a shit? He also says creatures your opponents control with counters on them cannot attack or block. I've got one in Kenrith, because Kenrith can put +1/+1 counters on any creature. So I can just start beefing up my opponent's creatures, and if I've got the Kolrath Knight out, they can't attack or block. Let's see, anything obvious? Sex Mage, he kills Planeswalkers, I want to keep her. Basilisk Collar, all that's great against with Kaervek. Give him the color, and when he, even if somebody casts a 2 casting cost ramp spell, he'll still kill the creature if I target a creature. If I give it to the Inferno Titan, when he attacks, I can kill 3 creatures because he gets 3 separate do 1 point of damage triggers. And if he's got Death Touch and Lifelink, well, so much the better. Fulminator Mage, destroy target non-basic land. The lads started to play, especially Cube. He started to play more interesting lands, especially 3 Tree City. So this can deal with that. Dualcaster Mage. Flash into play, copy an instant sorcery spell. I can choose new targets for the copy. Bombardment. Burnished Heart, Exquisite Blood. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. Great with Kaervek. Shattering Pulse, blow up artifacts. The mana rocks I can't take out. Kaervek, he costs 7. He costs 5, 1 black, 1 red. That's a lot of mana. So I've designed the deck with a lot of mana rocks in order to try to cast him as quickly as possible. I've had him out as quickly as turn 3 a few times. It doesn't happen that much, not by any means. I get him out on turn 4 sometimes, but turn 5 is pretty reliable to get him out. And if you've got this guy on turn 5, when people start casting 4 CMC, 5 spells, 5 CMC spells, he starts hitting people pretty hard. Goblin Trash Master. I didn't know this guy was a card. For the longest time, playing him in Arena, I didn't know he was a card. In paper, I'd assumed it's some Arena bullshit. And then I decided to look it up, and oh, fuck, he is a real card. So got one for Kaervek. Got one for Kaervek, got one for Aurelia, because both of them make goblins. I could take out the Gratuitous Violence, actually. Excuse me. Gratuitous Violence doesn't do anything on its own. It costs 5 mana, 2 triple red. Creature control, deal combat, deal damage, any damage, deals double. So it is good with Kaervek because he would deal double damage. The thing is, it doesn't do anything else, and it does cost triple red, and sometimes the triple mana requirement is difficult. If I'm killing creatures, I need life. Maybe I should take out the Blood Artist. Just rely on the Falconrath Noble. Maybe I'll do that. Oh look, my Titans are right next to each other. Inferno and the Grave. With their Dretch, deal with Graveyard, Goldspan Dragon, creates treasures and doubles the mana I get out of treasures. See, this is another card. This is like Korath Knight. If you don't know about this guy, you don't play this guy, if you're in red, just put one in. And it's funny because people do not expect red to be able to do this at all. 1 in a red, 2/2 Goblin Warrior. When he comes into play, bounce a creature and opponent controls back to its owner's hand. So if they've stolen one of your creatures, you can bounce that creature back to your hand. Or if they've got something you can't deal with otherwise, you can bounce it back to their hand. And it comes down early. So early in the game, boing. And they're like, what? That's a blue effect. Well, it's from Planar Chaos. Siege Gang Commander, Rakdos Locket, Plate, Coffin Queen, Helm of Possession. Yeah, I don't want to take this out. I'm making goblins, making goblin tokens, so I can spend 2, sacrifice one of those stupid goblin tokens, or the Sting Scourger if I don't want to pay the Echo, and gain control of a creature an opponent controls as long as I have Helm and it has tapped. This guy's good too. One black, 1 red. 3/3 Tuval Demon. What is he? Vexing? No, not Vexing Devil. What is his? I think Chaos Demon. I think that's what he's called. I can't remember what the English translation is. Whenever anybody sacrifices anything, he does 1 point of damage to anything. Mask of Gristlebrand, 1 black. Equipped creature is flying lifelink. When it dies, I pay X life. This is in here because I took out the memory jar and I gave it to, who did I give it to? Somebody else. So I needed another way of drawing cards. I have to jump through hoops, but I can't draw cards with this. He's a shaman. So if I have Harmonic Prodigy out, if I put a token in play as a copy of another non-legendary creature I control, I get 2 of those instead. And I still have to sacrifice both of them because it's part of the effect. Living Death, Key, Cryptghast, Map, Red Cap. Comes into play, deals damage equal to power target creature or player. It's only 2 damage, unless I have Gratuitous Violence out or some other effect. It's only 2 damage. Sometimes that's enough to matter. Often it's not. So maybe it's time to cut him. Per Recruiter, he can find Kinky Jinky, Phyrexian Purge. This surprises people also. 2 black-red, pay 3 life per target, destroy any number of target creatures. So, nothing obvious. Nothing that kind of immediately says, yeah, this is not as good as Harmonic Prodigy. Goblin Welder. Chaos. So what do I take out? Comes into play, put 2 1/1 red goblin creature. Maybe one of these effects. Because I want the goblins so I can sacrifice them. I've got Phyrexian Tower in here. I can Skull Clamp them and draw cards. I can use them for chumps. They can feed the Siege Gang Commander. Shadun, the One-Eyed. Return a black card from a graveyard to my hand. Perforos got the Schmied. I haven't really used the Dual Caster Mage, but I kind of want to keep him in here because of the effect he can have. It can be huge, or it can just kind of be nothing. Let's see. So what can I take out? War Marshal. Comes player dies, I get a goblin. Maybe the Beetleback Chief. Yeah, let's do that. But then I'm reducing the effectiveness of the Trash Master. This is never easy. Well, sometimes it is. Rakdos Charm, exile creatures, cards in target player's graveyard, or destroy an artifact. Or each creature deals 1 damage. Against token decks, this can be backbreaking. Sharpshooter. Maybe the Noble, because I do have the Blood Artist. Grave Titan creates tokens. She takes things out of graveyards, creatures out of graveyards, puts them into play under my control, makes them work for me. Living Death can be really good in this deck sometimes. Cryptcast, of course, double my swamps, extort. This with Perforos can be interesting. So if I have Perforos and I have a bunch of creatures, I can spend 3 red, target myself. Destroy all creatures target player can target myself. Those creatures that I have will die. I'll double them. I'll get 1/1 goblins for each creature I have. 2 1/1 goblins. So double the number of creatures. They'll come into play. Perforos, so see them come into play and do 2 points of damage to my opponents for every creature that comes into play. So sometimes, once in a while, I will infest myself. Terror of the Peaks, Simulacrum, Coco Shaw. What about Shadun? Do I really need Shadun? Return a black card to my hand, but I really don't use him. I really haven't come up with him, so everything in the deck has a purpose. Everything in the deck has either proved itself or is good enough to keep in here. He's in here, so a recurring thing you hear me say about my decks is I have some kind of defense against my graveyard being exiled. So this is why Balthor's in here. 2 black for a 2/2 zombie dwarf. All minions, and I don't have that many minions in the deck, get +1 +1. Triple black, exile Balthor. Each player, everybody, with any black or red creatures in their graveyard returns them to play. So somebody's going to Bajuka Bog me. If I've got the 3 black available, I can exile Balthor and get all my creatures out, saving them from the bog. It's real tight. So I think it's kind of between Shadun and Falconwrath Noble. The horsemanship kind of doesn't matter because I'm not really attacking that much in this. Yes, I do have a Sword of Light and Shadow in the deck. Maybe I should take that out. But it does raise dead, and it does give me 3 life, a little bit of life. So they both have evasion. He's essentially blockable because almost nobody plays horsemanship. Sacrifice him, return a black card from my graveyard to my hand. Whenever another creature or he dies, target player loses 1 life, I gain 1 life. 2/2 flyer. I kind of don't want to take either out though. And I don't want to take out any land. I definitely don't want to take out any mana rocks. So, and he's the same as the Noble, only costs twice as much. The Noble costs twice as much. Noble flies. Noble is 2/2. He's 0/1, but he comes into play quicker. To be honest, this is probably the most logical thing to take out, because it does, like I keep saying, it does cost 5. Triple red. It doesn't do anything else. Prodigy can at least attack and block. More likely block. So let's do that. Plus, when the gratuitous violence gets destroyed, I've got no way of getting it back. Harmonic Prodigy, I've got a lot of ways of getting him back. So there we go. That's the change to Kaervek.